Alright, so let's review. I'm going to do a couple more 2-point perspectives, and then a couple more 3 points, and then I think I'll talk about something. I think I'll add a little extra to show you guys. I think you guys will like. So, alright, so 2-point. Some more tips on this. Alright, so I'm going to show you why you don't want to, you want to try to avoid to placing your points really close together. Alright, so I'm going to put 1 point here, and put 1 point here. Alright, so I'm going to make another one. Actually, I'll make another one below this. And then I'll put here, here. Okay, so this is the first demo. This is why I'm kind of against, or I'm pretty against trying to put these close together. So you have your first line, you take one in and you put it to this side, take this in, put it to this side, take this in, put it up to here, this in, connect it to here, put your box there. Now, for one, I can barely see the top part of this box, and then what's happening is it's very distorted, which means everything is squeezed in. So if I had to, well, you know what, I shouldn't say that I'm against it. Then this is an effect that you can do and get with placing your points close together like this. If you for any reason wanted to make like a kind of like a fisheye effect, place your 2 points together, and then let's see, I'm going to try to make another one over here. Try to see if it shows the effect at all. Okay, yeah, so this looks like a 1 point perspective box, because I can't connect anything to here. So it's really just this. Whereas, so yeah, then that's one bad thing about it. If you go past this, or if you go past your vanishing points, everything gets flat. So now, if I put a line here, start connecting it down this way, or even this way, it wouldn't even matter because everything's going to be flat past these vanishing points. So, what you want to do is place your vanishing points far away. So now, I'll make one box here. And after a while, once you practice this, it gets easier. Got one box here. I could put a tall box here. Put my line down, another tall box here. Put another box right behind here. Here. Over here. So now, since our vanishing point is outside of our picture plane, our vanishing points are outside our picture plane, we don't have to worry about things getting flat, because now we can show these 3 dimensions, and we can show space and everything. And then, you know, once you start talking about lighting and shading and everything, then you can really start bringing out some depth and, you know, some character to your scenes. And then I think they're good for making 2-point perspective is really cool for making streets, because now you have your 2 points to connect the streets, and you can make them like a 1-point perspective on each one. So I'm gonna go back up here. Say you place your points really close together, but you still want to create depth. I'm gonna show you guys an awesome thing about perspective. I wasn't gonna show it this early, but I figured since I was late, I pretty much owe you guys this. So this is the special treat I want to talk about. You can use each vanishing point as separate vanishing points. Now, what do I mean by that? They don't have to be used together to create something. They can be used as their own perspective. So we made a 2-point perspective box here. If you wanted to, if you really wanted to, you could use each one as a 2-point perspective, or as their own 1-point perspectives. So you have 1 point here. So say you didn't have enough room to make your points off the page, or you just didn't want them to go far off the page like that, you could use these points as their own separate 1-point perspective. So now we have that over there, and then we got this over here, and then if we want to make another, and then we could still use them for 2-point perspective. And it'll be distorted, but this is the kind of fun stuff you can do with perspective. It really is, you know, it's about technique, but it's also about being creative also. Okay. So now we have a combination of our 2-point in here, and then we have 1 point over here and 1 point over here. But then if you make your whole scene a 2-point perspective, it's more consistent and it's realistic. But here is, you know, it's just really distorted and gives like this very it's like everything is like going, like receding very quickly kind of look. But it's not wrong with it. It's all about what you want to do. Alright, so another layer. Make sure we're still recording. Okay. Still recording. Alright, so 3-point perspective. I want to practice this real quick. Alright, so I'm going to set it even. You know what? I'll set it high again. Have our first 2 points. I'm going to place it all the way down here this time. And then, no, let's make our 3 lines. Make our 3 lines down here. I want to connect those 2. And then now, where we have any intersections can go to over here. So, but since this one isn't really a good one, we'll bring this one down to here, and then we'll connect this still to there. So sometimes drawing in perspective is also about adjusting things. You draw one line, then you make intersections, and then you realize that one intersection doesn't fit, so you just gotta make a new intersection. So that's the fun thing about perspective, I think. But then it could also start to get tedious when you start making when you start putting more things into your scene, then you gotta make sure that, you know, they're all receding correctly. So let's have fun with this. So when you start making buildings or adding details to anything in perspective, those details need to also recede. So we have, like if I was making a building, all these details would have to recede correctly to their, you know, respective vanishing points, which is harder on paper. Well, not as hard, because you'll be using rulers on paper. Okay, so that's 2-point and 3-point perspective in a nutshell, I think. And then some perspective tips for you guys. So all in all, just have a good time with it. Place your points down, decide which lines are receding to which one, and just play around with it, and really use this tip of you know, using different perspectives within perspectives, because that can be really helpful for your other scenes too. So let's play around with that idea. All right, last one. All right, so now we're just gonna really play around with perspective. I'm gonna make it tilt. I'm gonna have a good time with this. All right. All right. So what I'm doing here, I'm making a 2-point perspective with this box right here. I'm really just picking some. I'm trying to. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure. See, it's already still looking like 3-point perspective because I'm trying to fight myself to receive back that one. All right, so I gotta get my mind out of 3-point perspective for this one. So this line will be, actually no, the line is actually going to be perpendicular with this one. So okay, I got it. All right, I had to do a little bit of thinking, but what I came up with was in 2-point perspective. What? Let me go back to this one. All right, in 2-point perspective, the vertical lines, the lines that are going vertically, sorry, on the wrong layer, they're perpendicular, which means they meet at the horizon line at a 90-degree angle. So with this one, what I had to do, let me erase these lines, I don't know what they're doing there. What I had to do was, I had to kind of look at it and think, okay, perpendicular is a 90-degree angle. Okay, so that's the line I want for this 2-point perspective between these two. So is that. Sorry, this is looking a mess. And then perpendicular. But since I have this line, these lines are parallel, and then this line that's going to be down here is going to be parallel. And then now this other line is going to go here. So let me show you that. It's like a perspective playground. You put your points down and then you start playing with them, but then you also start to figure out some things about perspective. I don't want to go too far with this, actually. I don't want to make this video too long. So, alright guys, so what I suggest for you guys is practice, you know, 2nd point, 3rd point, even 1st point, and then, you know, when you get tired of just practicing, then play around with it. Put your points down and then make your perspectives, use 3-point, 2-point, 1-point, use them all in one picture if you want to. But, you know, just practice with these boxes, and then I'll show you some more tips on how to make different shapes, how to put characters in perspective. But you know, for now, just play around with these boxes, put them in interesting ways, make it, you know, like an abstract picture, like a Salvador Dali or something. You know, just have a good time, go crazy. All right, hopefully I'll see you guys next week if I'm not late, but don't hold your breath. But thank you guys and have a good time.